More coaching news across the league. Guys, what's the latest?
Sam, big time for Buffalo Bills offensive coordinator Brian Daboll, who's got a game tonight against the Baltimore Ravens and who's got a team in the Los Angeles Chargers that's highly interested in hiring him. He has emerged as the leading candidate for the Los Angeles Chargers head coaching job, where he would work with Justin Herbert and be expected to do for Herbert what he did in Buffalo for Josh Allen. Brian Daboll also went to St. Francis High School in Buffalo, same high school as Chargers general manager Tom Telesco. So they go back away, they have a past, and they very well also could have a future together, Mort. And also, we have Brandon Staley, the Rams defensive coordinator, who is on the Eagles' wish list of candidates to speak to. The Eagles have spent the week interviewing candidates, but one candidate that they're highly interested in talking to is the Rams defensive coordinator, who has a matchup today against the Green Bay Packers. If the Rams were to lose that game, Staley would be free to talk to the Eagles and accept a job. But if they win, the Eagles would have to figure out the timing when to interview him. Either way, Philly is interested in Brandon Staley.
Yeah, Adam, we saw the Falcons name Arthur Smith, the Titans offensive coordinator, as their next head coach. And their general manager is expected to be, likely to be, Terry Fontenot, the assistant GM of the Saints. Now, Fontenot is a black man. Arthur Smith is a white man. Arthur Blank, the owner of the Falcons, said they interviewed 15 to 20 candidates, and he says this is the deepest pool possible. He says you don't hire a person for the color of their skin, but he is convinced the league is in better shape than ever with the new process and the pool of candidates as they go forward. And then the class of 2018, yes, we've talked about it a lot. You know, the two most polarizing figures in that draft were Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills out of Wyoming and Lamar Jackson out of Louisville. Both were criticized because of accuracy issues. Bill Parcells, the Hall of Fame coach, told me he loves Josh Allen, got to know him before the draft, thinks he is going to be a star in this league, not ready to be a star yet. As far as Lamar Jackson goes, he made this note. He is running a perfect system for him. It's a three-pronged tactic, he said, Sam. It was this, it was power, it was option with three options, and it's improvisational. And Lamar Jackson is the improvisational part, and that's the dagger.
Yeah, whatever it is, it's working for him. We'll see if it continues working out there today. The divisional playoffs, truly a matchup of young and old when you compare the AFC and the NFC. Lamar, Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, and Patrick Mahomes have an average age of just under 25 and have a combined 7 playoff wins in their careers. But the NFC QBs have been around the block with an average age over 37 and 52 total playoff wins. So let's talk about this Bucs-Saints game tomorrow. Rex, the key for Brady in trying to avoid that sweep that they've faced against the Saints this season.
Yeah, first off, Sam, when I look at this thing, it's it jumps out of me. Oh, my gosh, they couldn't protect Tom Brady 2 times in a row. This game's not going to be different. But I think it could be different. And you know why? I'm looking at this thing going, hey, this reminds me of Tom Brady's offense. Hey, imagine that. Bruce Arians seems to be more comfortable right now in giving Tom Brady the strings to that offense, because the play action game is huge for Tom Brady, and that's how you can protect the quarterback. And you see it, nobody is a better play action quarterback than Tom Brady. I'm not telling you to, Randy and Brew, anything you don't know. He is the greatest of all time at it. But to do it, you got to be able to run the football. And I've watched this this offense run the football more. And it just looks different to me. The last several weeks, Tom Brady looks like himself. Why? I'm pretty sure Byron Leftwich and him are really running the offense that Tom's doing. And that, you know what? To me, it's not a slap on Bruce Arians. It's a respect thing that, Bruce, you recognized it. And you recognized it. I'd rather be a little later, like, hey, I recognize it now, than not recognizing it at all. You're better off. This team is better off because Tom Brady looks to me like he's running the show, and that gives him a chance in this game.
And let me talk about some of the keys to Drew Brees going and winning this game at home. Being able to find a guy like Alvin Kamara out of the backfield, knowing what the Bucs like to do best. When they play their man coverage, where they're vulnerable at is in their man coverage. Tackling in space, I think, for me, is going to be the key looking at this matchup right here. But let me tell you something. Everybody knows what Sean Payton does. He's an offensive-minded coach. And, Coach, you think you're a little sneaky, don't you? You got a punt returner by the name of Deontay Harris, last year, a Pro Bowler. Yeah. Anytime you can get your playmakers in space, okay, to make big plays. Last week, 7 targets, 7 catches by Deontay Harris. You're talking about putting more playmakers on the field. This game is must-see. We know what the Tampa Bay Bucks has on their offensive side of their weapons, but you adding a guy by Deontay Harris, a punt, kick returner to this offense, only it's going to get scary for the defense for the Tampa Bay Bucks.
You know, you keep hearing people say it's really hard to beat a team 3 times. Evan Kaplan, our researcher, helped me out here. It's actually not. In the last 25 years, 12 times we've seen a team that swept a team in the regular season play them again in the playoffs. 9 of those times they won again. So their history is on the side of the Saints in this series. Give them a little love. Speaking of giving a little love, we should give some love to the Cleveland Browns. I don't know. Do y'all want to talk about the Browns?
No, I don't want to talk about the Browns.
Anybody here want to talk about the Browns? So we're just going to keep it moving because I'm a good teammate. And we're going to talk about the Browns against the Chiefs tomorrow. Matt, how can the Browns pull off the upset?
Listen, Joe Woods, the defensive coordinator for the Cleveland Browns, was coaching in San Francisco against this Kansas City Chiefs team last year. And what their game plan was, and it was a good game plan. It was a game plan that gave them a chance to win. Make the Chiefs get bored. Make them go the long, hard way. This is an explosive offense. They take shots. I think the best way to beat them is to make them dink and dunk all the way down the field. I don't know if they have the patience for it. The other thing they got to do, and I'm saying it like it's easy, you got to find a way to stop Travis Kelce. You must find a way. He set the single-season record this year for most receiving yards for a tight end. The chemistry that Mahomes has with Travis Kelce, no one's been able to stop it so far this year. They got to have an answer for it. They got to find a solution.
Yeah, this is a conflicting place for me, fellas, because, I mean, you've got the team, the dominant team that's trying to go back-to-back, and then you've got the team where no one thinks you can do it, but they still did it in Pittsburgh. And Sam, you're the only one at this table that thought they could do it, and they did it, and that's credit to you, and also credit to the Browns, because, listen, it can be done. It can be done. I've been on teams that have gone into places and shocked the world, but it takes more than that, what you're talking about. It takes the unexpected. It takes the block kick for a touchdown. It takes the pick six. It takes Kelce, a tip ball through his hands that goes into B.J. Goodson's hands, and all of a sudden, he takes it back for a pick six. It takes those type of things. Is this Brown team a team of destiny? We'll see if those plays and the ball bounces their way tomorrow, because that is important, how teams like this win championships.
Yeah, it also takes some confidence, right? And that is something that Baker Mayfield does not lack, especially when it comes to playing Patrick Mahomes. A lot of people play Patrick Mahomes and get a little nervous from what you see on TV. This guy's got some history. Remember that OU Texas Tech game back in college where they scored 1,000 points and Baker and the Sooners end up winning the game? I just feel like there's a lot more to this game for Baker Mayfield. Absolutely. The only thing that scares me a little bit is everybody's starting to love the Browns now, because I think he's better with a little chip on his shoulder when everybody's
We'll see how much Brown loves at the table tomorrow.
I cannot wait to see what these picks are tomorrow. Feeling kind of good about it. All right, still to come on Countdown. Josh Allen has looked unstoppable in the past 2 months, but he tells you what made him study a little extra on the Ravens tape this week, a preview of some potential Ravens weaknesses on defense. And Aaron Rodgers leads the #1 offense in the NFL into Jalen Ramsey's #1 defense. Find out why Devontae Adams reminds Sean McVay of an NBA legend.
Guarantee you this guy's an unbelievable basketball player, too. You can envision Allen Iverson crossing somebody up with a basketball in his hands.